Ooh, y'all, come on back in. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Everything went wrong, okay? Stuff started falling apart. This little machine I got just started falling apart. Come on back in, y'all. Come on in. You'll get this notification. Come on in. Come on in. Yes, yes, yes. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Listen. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Y'all already know when you set out on a mission to do something, I'm gonna learn from this lesson. Listen, when you set out to do something, you can expect before a breakthrough stuff start breaking out. I mean, machine started shaking, just a whole lot of stuff start just doing what it want to do. So come on in, guys. Listen, this is an episode that you do not want to miss. This is a live you do not want to miss. And let me know that you can hear me. Come on. Thank you. Thank you, B. Jacqueline. I appreciate that. Thank you. Listen, I need you to do one thing. I need you to tag a neighbor. Tag a neighbor, Lord. Share this video out. Represent the city and state that you are from. Yep, you already know it's your girl, Daniella Coffey. I am your spiritual strategist, leadership success coach, and powerhouse speaker. Tonight, listen, everybody that is faith-based, that is in ministry and marketplace, you want to tag them. Yes, you want to tag them because none other than my business coach, Epic Aprille, is going to be on the line. And I'm telling you right now, you better go get your pen and your piece of paper right now. Thank you, Aprille. You guys said you can see. Yes, this is going to be some good stuff. I'm so excited about tonight. So listen, hey, Dolores, hey, my love. I want you guys to go ahead and tag someone that is in ministry and in the marketplace that is faith-based. Dolores is having her event that is coming up. Come on. We on the same team. We talked about this, Dolores, and I'm so excited. So excited. Let's talk about ministry and money. Come on. That's always a sticky subject, but let's talk about it. Let's have this tough conversation. So I'm waiting on Aprille now to invite her in so that we can go ahead and get started. Listen, tell me what city and state you're representing. Yes, Raleigh, North Carolina. Yes. God, Illinois, come on, share this video. You're going to want to share this. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be good. Give us your city and state that you're representing. And also let us know what business you are a part of. What do you do in ministry? What is your ministry? What are you doing in the marketplace? All right, here we go. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Yes. I'm so excited. She's coming on now. Go get your notebook, your pen, and your piece of paper. I'm telling you, she's going to give us some nuts. Hey, Aprille.
Hey there. How are you?
I'm good, girl. It was just everything started. I'm trying to do this new machine, right?
Let's roll.
This thing started shaking and jerking and irking and everything. I'm like, what's going on? And so I had to put that thing down. So I apologize for that. How are you today?
I'm good. No worries. Thanks for having me.
Good. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be a part of my live and to join our tribe and talking to us about ministry and money. Like,
yeah. What a topic. So first of all, just let me say, yes. Danielle, thanks for having me. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you are, and they said they can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear? You can't hear who? Myself, or you can't hear either one of us?
I can hear you.
Let us know. Okay. Somebody said I was just thinking about this woman today. I'm telling you,
perfect.
You got to get your life right.
So I think they can hear me. So hey, Janine, can you hear me, Janine? If so, say yes. All right, perfect. So first of all, thanks for having me on. Yes. I appreciate the opportunity always to speak to entrepreneurs when the time arises. So I appreciate that. We're not going to hold much of your time, but we are going to make sure that we cover some topics that Daniella thinks is important, which is why she brought me on. And then I'm going to open it up and answer any of your questions. So I want to say hello to everyone popping on right now. Hey, Darnell Jervy. Hey, Ebony. Hi, Shanita, Nicole, Twinette, Katina, B. Jacqueline, Dante, Mary, Janine, Tanya, Keith,
Yes.
Tamika, Dio, Robin. Again, thank you for tuning in. Thanks for tagging a business friend. Thanks for tagging someone in ministry. Thanks for sharing. So first of all,
Yes.
Daniella, why did you want me to come on?
So my reason for having you to come on is because ministry and money is a very sticky subject. I know that I had some challenging relationships when it came to money because I was born and raised in the church. And, we were like, your gift will make room for you. You shouldn't be charging for your services. And then just come and encounter with most people that are in the church, that are in ministry, let's just be real, are broke. Yeah. And so not knowing how to charge for their services, feeling guilty about charging, feeling guilty of like, where do I start? How do I charge? It's ministry. How do I charge for that? So that's what I wanted you to come on and talk about. How do we connect ministry and money?
Well, and I appreciate that. And here's one of the things I think is very interesting when it comes to ministry is that within ministry, no matter how you were raised in the church, or whether you was in church every Sunday or you was only there on
Yes.
Easter and Christmas Eve, or Easter and New Year's Eve, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, every I don't know what's happening right now, but as I was saying, there's
Mm-hmm.
this there is this element. I don't know, I'm having some feedback. Hold on.
Do you
Okay,
need
there we
me
go.
to put
So
my
nope, I
okay.
don't.
Okay.
So what we find is that there is some asking of money everywhere, right? Everywhere
Mm-hmm.
around us, right? We need revenue. We need money for our nonprofit missions. We need money to feed the kids we want to feed. We need money to pave the parking lot. We need money to
Yeah.
pay the people to keep the lights on. We need money to pay
Yeah.
the mortgage on the building. We need the money to for pastor's anniversary. We need money if we want childcare workers. We need money if we
Yes.
want to keep snacks, just the basic things, right? And I think that people
Mm-hmm.
get very caught up in um, their own worth, their own value, and their own element of, am I enough to be charging this? Shouldn't I be doing this for free because this is for God? This is for Jesus. This
Mm-hmm.
is for service. I'm a servant
Yeah.
leader. I should not be charging. Meanwhile, you're resentful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, you're resentful because everyone else
Mm-hmm.
around you is getting paid. And they should
Yes.
be, because we should all be a part of one another's ecosystem, one another's
Mm-hmm.
economy, one another's commerce, right? And I'm
Yeah.
really big on that because, for example, Danielle is one of my clients. She's part of my commerce. She
Yes.
is in my mastermind. She invests in her business. She invests so she can grow. She can be around people.
Mm-hmm.
She can connect. And it's important for our business that we have people to actually support the business. It's important for our
Yes.
business that we have people actually out there implementing the strategy so that they can connect with people like you that are tuning in, that are
Mm-hmm.
watching, that are faith-based leaders, that are people that want to do amazing work. And so I think the
Mm-hmm.
disconnect is because there is like you said, there is a worth issue. I think people innately don't believe that they deserve to
Yeah.
be abundantly free. I believe that we've been
Mm-hmm.
sold and told in church and otherwise that we should struggle. And when there is no
Yeah.
struggle, it's like we're undeserving. It's like you got to be in a struggle in
Yes.
order for it to be right. And the truth of the matter is
Mm-hmm.
that's not true. That's not
That's not.
true. And
Mm-hmm.
and if it was true, it would be working for everyone.
Yeah.
That never worked.
Yes.
Right? That
No,
never
it
worked.
doesn't.
And so we can't ignore the fact that it's not working. Right? And we can't
Mm-hmm.
ignore the fact that there are mega influencers, there are mega people that are in the spiritual space that are monetizing. And you can say what you want. Let's use 2D Jakes for an example. The bottom line
Yes.
is you should have to buy the book that he wrote
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if you want it. The bottom line is you should have to buy the conference ticket if you want to go to MegaFest. If you want to go to
Yeah.
their pastor's leadership conference, you should have to buy a ticket. And when you get there, if you want to enhance your leadership skills, you should have to buy the program. And all of those
Mm-hmm.
things go into the commerce of the vision and the mission that they're facilitating. And so you want people to do the same thing for you. The more you have, the more you can do. The more you have of heart, the more you can do. The more you have of energy, the more you can do. The more you have of time, the more you can do. The more you have of money, the more you can do. The bottom line is the more you have, the more you can do. And that's just that's really the truth. People can say whatever, they can bounce on whichever side of the fence on that. But the truth of the matter is we all have to have it. And I think that innately, spiritually, we've been taught to struggle.
Yeah.
And people can't get out of it. They're stuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
you
it
know what?
transcends in their business.
Yes, absolutely. It's, it's a shift in the mind. It's a shift in the mind and the relationship with money. Because at the end of the day, you're no good to no one if you can't assist them. Money answers all things, as Vicky just said in the chat. And what we have to understand is if I don't have money, I can't assist you. I can't be of help to you. Money is needed. And I'm, just transparent moment. I had to come to grips with that. I had to start to invest in myself, get around like-minded people, because I thought that everything I was doing, I had to give it away free. And I started off giving it away free. Now let's talk about the transitioning portion of it, because you could have started doing some things for free. And now people expect that to happen. And so how do you transition?
Yeah, and I think that that's really, first of all, thanks for being transparent. And I think that's common, right? I think it's probably more common in women than men, but I definitely think it's common in general of people that are in ministry or in servant leadership. And I think the transition has to become, before you, if you really believe that God put on your heart to do what it is you're doing, then you should be walking in kingdom excellence within that. And that doesn't look like stress. That doesn't look like scraping the barrel to make ends meet. It just doesn't look like that. And I think when you decide that it doesn't look like that, then you can start to make some of those mental shifts, right? I think we are so conditioned. There's such conditioning around our existence. There's so much, I think, conditioning that never served us. And we have been perpetuating it because it's traditional, because it is what everyone else is doing. It's because it's what we were taught. Even when what you were taught, everything our parents did wasn't the best things. They just did what they know how to do.
That's right.
They just did what they know how to do. And I think we have an opportunity here, especially with technology and with the amount of access that we now have to specific things, to information, to people, that you can really make some real differences in your communities, in your areas, in your state, in the country, in the world. Like, that's where we are now. We're in a space where you can actually transition from struggle to success, to where you don't have to have a degree to be a millionaire, to where you don't have to know what you want to do when you're 55 and decide at 56 that you want to start a business and change the world.
Different. Yeah.
I mean, we live in that space where no one can know you today and everyone can know you tomorrow. And I think those are really amazing opportunities for us. And so I think in shifting and transitioning from free, you have got to decide that your process is valuable, that the outcomes associated with your process is valuable. So even if you're struggling with your own internal value, let's just stick to the facts. Let's stick to the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Is it true that if someone implements what you're asking, that they'll be better than they were had they not implemented it? Yes or no? So let's not even get emotional.
Yeah.
Let's not make it about you. Let's just stick to the facts. So if we just stuck to the facts, is it true that they will be better off? Is it true, right, Dante, that they will be better off? Is it true, Lynette, that they will be better off? Jasmine Palmer Gray, is it true that if someone implemented the advice, the tips, the strategies, the resources that you're providing to them, is it true that they will be in a better position if they implement it had they not encountered you? And the answer is yes. So let's put value on that. So let's put value on that piece of it. And I think if you put value on that part, then you can see things in a different light. I think trying to switch a person who has internal value deficiency into making them that value is a bigger feat than looking at the facts, right? Because it's easy. We can talk ourselves into logic, right?
Yeah.
But working on our internal self, that's going to take some time, right? That may take a little bit of time. And for some people, they'll switch right away. But I think you have to make the shift. Otherwise, you're going to be resentful of the gift that God gave you.
Yeah.
You're going to be mad at it. And you know why? Because the mortgage is still coming. The husband still wants to see you bring home some money. The wife still wants you to bring home the bacon. The kids still need soccer shoes and cheerleading outfits. You still got to make your tithes. You still have a car note. You still have to fulfill whatever your mission is. And you don't want to be resentful because there's nothing to pull from.
That's right.
And you don't want to struggle and call it God.
Can you say that again, please?
You don't want to struggle and call it God and say, well, God has this or God is not waiting on, God is waiting on us. All this, we're waiting on God. That's a lie. That is fear and a lie, in my opinion, that we utilize to validate our inaction and our confusion.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is God, we profess to him what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We profess, we say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. God, I want to do this. God, help me with this. So whatever those things are that we're professing that we're going to do, thank you for sharing, everybody. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of it. But I think that is the bigger issue to me. It's like, what are we doing? What are we moving in? And I just believe that what if we ask ourselves, what if it wasn't hard? What if we could move in this ministry, in our businesses, within entrepreneurship? What if we can move in grace and ease? Why does it have to be hard? Why do we have to convince ourselves that it has to be hard? Because it's so easy to convince ourselves of that and then back out of it and then not do it at all.
Yeah. I think just growing up in the church and growing up in ministry, that's what we were taught. And not only what we were taught, is what we were shown. That, if it wasn't difficult, if you don't work hard, you won't get it. It's, ministry is difficult, and it's what we were taught. Let me speak for me. It's what I was taught. It's what I was shown. And then as an adult, you grow up, and it's kind of difficult sometimes to shift your mind and say, wait a minute. No, it shouldn't be this difficult. If this is a vision that God, because you can't tell me God is giving you divinely downloaded a vision, and then when you upload it, it's difficult. He's not a God of confusion. And so why do we make it so difficult? Why do we make it so hard? Why we're not prosperous in it? I mean, we talk about an abundant God. We talk about it, but our life doesn't exemplify what
because people have ego.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Because ego.
That's good
your
stuff
ego
there.
says, and I think it's interesting too, and I'm about to step on some toes. I already know this is not my audience, so please forgive me in advance. Charge it to my head and not my heart, as they would say.
She about to get us.
But that is that people don't really have faith. They don't. Yeah. I think Christians tout faith. I think people like to say it. I think it's a nice buzzword. I think it makes people think that you believe in yourself, that you believe in God, that you believe in the evidence of things not seen. But people don't. They don't have unwavering faith, because faith calls for you to desire a thing that does not exist in front of your face. It causes for you to believe in magic, basically. It's asking you to believe that while you're sitting in a box, that one day it's going to be a mansion. It's causing you to believe that while you're standing in a line at the food pantry, that's going to translate soon into 5-star meals and a refrigerator full of healthy foods.
Yes.
Faith will cause you to be in a hospital room with a dying family member and envisioning that they're going to be able to get up and walk out of that room. That's what faith is.
Wow.
We don't possess that. People don't possess that to the level of which they claim. Because if people would just say that I want to do X, this is my ministry. I don't understand how it boggles my mind. If it's truly your ministry, then go get it. Go
Yes.
deliver. Go fulfill it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't lie about it and call it
Yeah.
God. Don't lie about it and
Mm-hmm.
call it the devil, because he ain't got nothing to do with it either. This all has to do with us and our actions. People
Yeah.
love to say, you know, the devil
Mm-hmm.
trying to stop. No one's trying to stop you. No one is actually
Mm-mm.
trying to stop you. But it
Yes.
sounds good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's always easy to shift the blame.
It sounds
It's
good.
always easy.
There is
Yeah.
no forces piling up to conspire against you for your demise so that you cannot
Yes.
fulfill. It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not.
Denisha said, let me find out Coach Aprille preach too. Girl, you hear preaching on here, don't you? See, this the nice
So
Aprille y'all
really,
getting, okay?
it's really a mindset that we have adopted just because we've just been conditioned. And you got to
Yeah.
think about something, right? It's almost like when we gain weight. Anybody here ever gain weight? Type a number 1 in the comments if you ever gain weight. I'm waving my hands too,
Somebody
right?
type
I was just sitting here. I
1-1,
text my
okay?
+1. I said, I feel fat. He was like, I'm not even responding. I said, do you think I'm
Really? I'm
fat?
like
He was
him.
like,
Really?
right.
Mm-mm.
Right. Having a whole
Not at
meltdown
all.
because I'm feeling chunky, okay? But gain weight, it's a gradual process, okay? So I see the comments. I see you guys down there. I see you, Janine. Janine's like, yep. Vicky's like, yep. So if you've ever gained weight, you know that you didn't gain weight overnight. You knew that it didn't take you, 2 weeks to gain 30 pounds. You knew that one
Yeah.
day you looked up and it was 6 months later, a year later, and you was 30 pounds heavier. You were 20 pounds
Oh
overweight. You
God.
was 100 pounds
Mm-hmm.
overweight. You was whatever overweight. And then when you started the journey to get down, that is a process. It is a mental tug of war to put the food down, to
Yeah.
go exercise. So is your mindset.
Yeah.
You've been conditioned every day of your
Yeah.
life. And so to get to this age where we are at a mature age, 30s, 40s, 50s, some of you are in maybe in your 60s, you get to that place and now it's like, wow, I got to change who I actually am. You got to change what you
Yeah.
believe. You got to change what you're
Yes.
thinking so you can change what
Mm-hmm.
you're saying. So then you can change what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, and then you can change how you living, and you can change how you're
Yeah.
delivering. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
all of those things coincide and they work together. And so that's the
Mm-hmm.
transition element, is that you have to acknowledge the fact that we have been brainwashed and we've been doing the best we
Yes.
can for as long as we can until
Mm-hmm.
it stopped working. And when it stopped
Yeah.
working, or it's not working with the new elevated you, see, the only reason you're
Mm.
watching this is because you're uncomfortable with what was going on.
Come on.
So you need that disruption. That
Yes.
disruption is, to me, that is the beginning. That acknowledgement of the disruption, to me, is the beginning for you of making those changes that are necessary for you to begin to make, of opening your
Yes.
eyes, of opening your mind, of being receptive to what really is out there for you. And really, I
Yes.
would encourage people to activate the highest level of unwavering faith that you possibly can. I've been saying this for years. I have unwavering faith. I believe that I can do anything.
Anything. Come on.
Anything.
Anything. Anything.
And and
Hmm.
and I don't know how all of it's going to happen, but it always does.
Come
It
on.
always happens. You know why? Because I remain in the flow. And I place the value on the gifts that God gave me. And you have to place a value on the gifts that he gave you. Because the truth of the matter
Unapologetically.
is, yes,
Come on.
the truth of the matter is you can do more with more. And so I do want to be able to take some questions. Danielle, I don't know if you have any more questions for me, but I could talk about this all
Well,
night.
I was. Yeah, I always have 1,000 questions, but that's okay. I'll box you later. So I'm gonna open it up to our listeners. If you have any questions for Epic Business Coach Aprille, answer now is the time. We're talking about ministry and money. Listen, ministry and money, that sticky subject that you don't want to talk about. What is your value? Why aren't you valuing yourself? Why aren't you charging for the gifts? The Bible says your gifts will make room for you. Why are you renting a space that's already been gifted? Your job is to simply put a value on it and be confident and have faith enough that the value you place on it, look, somebody is waiting on you. Somebody is waiting. Somebody is willing and ready and waiting to pay that amount of money to come to that conference. Somebody is waiting on you. So let's ask the business coach. I'm telling you, you better get her, because this is the time to ask. So anyone
It
have
is the
any
time.
questions? Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions about while they're getting their questions ready, Aprille? That is one reason why with the help conference that I'm having about strategy for the vision, because in this faith-based realm, we always talk about vision. Oh, that is like, write the vision, make it plain. Write the vision, make it plain. We hear it all the time. But then when it's time to execute the vision is where we have our issue. When it's time for structure is where the issue lies.
Mm.
And so can you just speak to the person that has the vision, they have it written down, they know what they want to do, where do they start?
In hindsight, well, even not even
Mhm.
really hindsight, for me, honestly, and let me say this, I'm biased when it comes to
Mhm.
coaching. And I'm
Mhm.
biased because from the very beginning, I bought in to Les Brown.
Yeah.
21 years old, living in Dallas, Texas, making $9.78 an hour, feeling like I'm doing good at that time in 1997.
Mm.
So I learned early on that you have to invest in yourself. And
Yes.
um, it's not enough to have a vision. It's not
Say
enough
that again.
to have a vision, and it's not enough to um to look the part and not be the part,
Yeah.
right? Like none of that is enough. At the end
Mm.
of the day, when it comes to my business, I care about
Yeah.
doing two things. Number one is that we're profitable, and number two is that we're profitable because we help somebody become profitable.
Mm.
That's it. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
If you're not talking about those
Mhm.
two things, then you're wasting my time.
Yep.
So when it comes for you with your vision, it's almost like getting pregnant, right? It's like just
Mhm.
staying pregnant and never having the baby. Do
Yeah.
you know how miserable that would
Ooh.
be? If you just got pregnant and stayed pregnant and never
That
had
was
the
good.
baby, never organized the nursery, never shop for the clothes, never got
Wow.
people excited, never, you didn't do any of that. You just like being pregnant. You like talking about being pregnant. You like showing up
Mm.
looking pregnant, but the baby never
Mm.
came. That's
Wow.
what having a vision and you not structuring it, you not nurturing it, you not preparing it to grow looks like. You just walking
Yeah.
around with a dead baby.
Wow. Ouch. I just want that to sit right there for like 2 seconds,
I
because
mean,
some
that's
of
just what
us
it
are
is.
walking around and we've been pregnant. Well, we're well overdue.
Well overdue. And that's what that is. So
Wow.
it's just not cute. And I know, listen, I know what I'm saying is unpopular because everybody wants to look
Mhm.
good and floss and drive this and drive that. Meanwhile, most of the people, the most unhappy, and there's high elements of um, mental health and stress inside of
Mhm.
ministry.
Yeah, it is.
But everybody is just pretending, and it's not
Yep.
cool
Yep.
because people aren't dealing with what needs to be dealt with: the internal
Yep.
growth, the shifting of your mindset, and
Mhm.
the structure around these so-called visions. So are they
Mm.
truly visions from God, or is it just stuff you made up? Which is okay. It still needs a
Wow.
structure, but then don't make it about the ministry if that's not what it is.
Come on.
Meanwhile, your ministry hasn't helped anybody significantly over the past 2 years, 5 years, because that's what ministry is. That means that we're out there ministering. That means that things are being done. That means that you are healing, you are helping people.
Mhm.
And you can't do that if you're running around raggedy, if you're stressed out, if there's no resources, if there's real no business around it. So I appreciate the fact that Daniella is producing the help conference and she's producing a way and creating a way for people to take advantage on the ministry side of how
Yeah.
you can grow, because a ministry is a business with a different tax classification.
That's it.
That's it. It's the same.
That's it.
You still have to brand it, attract people to it, sell yourself, have a good marketing message, have it a good looking brand. You still have to do all of those things. And it's still
Yeah.
a ministry. And you still have to do those things. You still
Yep.
have to connect the dots. You still need a landing page for someone to click and get your book or your ebook or the tape that the CD that you sold. You still need it. And so you have to position yourself, put yourself in the room where people can help you make that happen.
Yes. And connecting with the right people. Can we talk about the connections? Connecting with the right resources. And you said something in one of our classes. You said not all the time do you got to connect with the people that's doing exactly what you're doing. Coming out of your box, stepping out of your box, and connecting with new people that doesn't do the exact same thing you're doing.
Yeah, you definitely. I mean, people they've got to open up. You know, you got to look around and just, it's just a real true assessment. It's just a real basic assessment that everyone can do right now. Okay, everyone. So we're all about to do a test. Everybody in, type of number 1 if you're in. Okay, we see some ones. All right, so Crystal's in. We see some ones coming through. So listen, if you stop and you look around right now where you're sitting, whether you are in your car, you're sitting at your desk at work, you may be at your son or daughter's basketball game, you could be just sitting at home on a sofa. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? When you look around, is that what you wanted to manifest for your life? Is that what you believe God for? That's the answer. That's the question for every single person. Look around. Is this what you wanted? Is whatever your children doing, is this what you dreamed of? If you're married and your spouse and you're within eye shot of them, is that what you want? Is that the type of love that you prayed for? Is that the house or the apartment that you wanted to live in? If you turn your head all the way around, is whatever hanging on the walls, is that what you wanted to see?
Wow.
And you got to start looking around.
Yeah.
When you get up and you stand up from where you are, if you're at home and you go look in your closet, is that closet look like the millionaire or the millionaires that you could potentially be?
Yes.
Or is it you 5 years ago? Or is it you 5 years from now? When you walk outside, are you happy with the neighbors? Is that indicative to the dreams and the desires that you had that you've been praying for? And the answer is, if it is, then great. Continue to do what you're doing. If it's not, how are we going to make it happen? How are we going to shift? What type of help do you need in order to make that a reality for yourself? Because only you can ask yourself that. You know why? Because when I got tired of asking myself that question and looking around, and I'm sitting there in my head thinking, this ain't even what I want. This house ain't what I want. This state ain't what I want. This husband ain't what I want. None of this is what I want. This is not what I thought I was manifesting. This is not what I thought I was praying for. So what do I need to change? What do I need to shift? Where do I need to invest? Where do I need to hang out? Where do I need to stop hanging out? Who do I need to start talking to, and who do I need to stop talking to? Where do I need to make room in my life for the things that I actually want to see when I do my 360? So when I do my 360, I want to see everything that I want. I want to see everything that was promised to me. And that's not going to happen if I don't shift and if I don't move and if I don't start to believe. So this is the success journey is very much a journey about people. Hey, Lisa Duncan, haven't seen you in a while. It's very much a personal journey, but it's very much I would say a grown person's journey. And you've got to really be okay with asking and answering some questions that may make you feel uncomfortable. And it may make you look at yourself. You know, it may make you look at yourself and it may disappoint you and it may not, but you still got to ask the question in order to get yourself on the right path.
Wow. Aprille, I'm normally not speechless. That's, but I'm speechless right now. It's time to just look at ourselves. It's time to take a look and say, what do I need to change?
And we have to shift. And let me say this too, Daniella. The majority of the women that are following you are African American women, right?
Mm-hmm.
African American women, which I am one, obviously. But we are also the demographic of business owners that are the least profitable. And I need y'all to let that sink in. I say this every opportunity I get. We're the fastest growing. Listen to me. Fastest growing and the least profitable of every other demographic of people in business. What does that say about us, y'all?
Wow.
That say we get excited and we like to start shit.
Yeah.
That's all that says.
Real talk.
That we just like to start it. And it looked good.
Yep.
Now, I know a ton of people making money, but when we look at business on a large scale and we look at all the business owners, this is the trend.
Yep.
We should come to disrupt that statistic. Make somebody else the winner of that prize.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But it certainly doesn't need to be you looking all good with a Gucci bag with no money in it.
With no money.
I mean, our values just need to shift. I mean, we're really we have got to start focusing on more of the right things that are really serving us and serving our communities to help make us better and make where we are better, and not just make things look good on the outside. Because that's just not, it's not kingdom living. It's not, I don't believe, the highest and best experience of what God would have you to do on this earth. And it's just playing small.
Yep.
That's all I got. And I'll be happy to answer any questions if there are any.
I think everybody over here like speechless. Are y'all speechless too? Like mouth wide open? Like,
well, I mean, we just got to get real. You know why? Because so much is on the line, Daniella. So much is on the line. And that's why I take this so seriously. Like, people are like, Aprille, you're mean, you're harsh. Okay, I'll be mean and harsh. You know why? Because my family depends on me to be successful.
Yes.
So I don't know about your family, but my family not going to starve.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in another food pantry line ever again. I don't want to file another bankruptcy to save my house out of foreclosure. I don't want to be destitute because I left a relationship in 2006 or whatever year it was. I don't want to be broke because I was not a good steward of my money. I don't want to live like that. So in order not to, I can't say I don't want to live like that, but continue to do things that are in alignment with living like that. So if you're saying you want to live a certain way, you want to have certain things, you want to really do what God put you on the earth to do, then you're going to have to get in a full alignment of that, both in your thinking and in your action taking. Wow. So I take this seriously. I will forever be so super serious about this, because I had a goal that I didn't even get to accomplish because my dad died before I could. Wow. So for me, that's how serious this is. So while people are playing games and they want to be confused and you don't want to charge for your services, that's not going to be me.
Me either.
That's not going to be us.
That's not going to be us. And who else? That ain't going to be you. Come on, put that in there. No, no more.
You understand what I'm saying? So when you think about it, you know, and let me tell you something. I haven't shared this, but when my dad died last year, May 2nd, on his 67th birthday. And when I first learned that things was going really bad, it was a 3-day period that I went through. I was in the deepest sorrow. I was feeling sorry for myself. I was angry. I was overwhelmed because I knew that there will be a lot of burden on me just because I'm in a position to do a lot of things. And however, I felt when I got that call, I was a failure, because my goal that I had said on stages multiple times was to build on to my parents' house, because my father was in a wheelchair. So when I got that news, and I knew in my spirit that he was going to be ascending and passing on soon, it shook me because I was not where I wanted to be. Because had I been, that addition would have already been built.
Wow.
So it made me feel some kind of way about my action taking. I'm probably gonna cry, but it's a daddy-daughter thing. So when I talk about being committed to what you're saying you want to do, you don't always have time. You don't always have time. You trying to do stuff for your kids, you don't know that they're gonna always be there. You want to do stuff for your parents, your sister, your brother, your whoever, the church, people down the street, Joe Blow, that ain't always gonna be there. So while you procrastinating, BSing, not charging, being used, being resentful, feeling sorry for yourself, life is moving on all around you. And that's what happened. And so my dad died and I never got to build the thing. And for those 3 days, I was so depressed. I wrote the saddest letter. And I sent it to my +1 and to my best friend. And I was like, this is how I'm feeling. I was like, and this was just last year. And mind you, last year was our highest revenue producing year ever. I made the most money last year, but I was sad as hell those 3 days and felt like I had been doing all this work for nothing because I didn't get to accomplish my goal. And I felt like I didn't get to accomplish my goal because there was times when I was tricking off time, when I wasn't implementing. And I'm like, now look, my dad's going to die and I'm not even going to get to do it. So when you come across me and you're like, Aprille, is this? Yeah, I am. And if you want to F around with your vision, then you keep doing it. But for me and my house, we're not doing that. We're going to help as many entrepreneurs get to the promised land in their own way that we can. And that's what we're going to do. And for those, and we not dragging nobody kicking and screaming. If you want to kick and scream, you can go follow somebody else. But if you want help and you want to succeed and you want answers, then you got to get up and stand up. You got to be moving. And that's just what it is. So that's why I am so committed to this, is because this is real.
Yeah.
This is real, you know, and I thank God that I had the resources. You know, I didn't even know my father didn't have insurance. My father was a vet. My father didn't have life insurance, but I was happy to swipe my card and pay for his memorial service. And because we ain't doing no fish plates to bury nobody. We ain't cooking no dinners and we ain't doing no GoFundMes. We're not doing any of that. We're going to send people off with some respect and some dignity because we did the right things while we had the time.
Wow.
While we had the time. So that's why I'm such a hard ass when it comes to business. It's because it's serious for me. And I don't know how serious it is for you. But when you say that you want to minister to someone, that means you want to help their healing. That means you want to be a part of their healing process. That means you want to be a part of their triumph. You're trying to be a part of their success. And you can't do that if you're not getting it together, if you don't know how. And that's just what it is. So I appreciate this dialogue, Daniella. I'm so grateful that you had me come on. And I'll come back anytime.
Thank you,
doors
Aprille.
Are open.
May the Lord watch.
Whoever wants to do the benediction, y'all go ahead.
This the benediction, y'all. Benediction. Aprille, thank you so much. You have definitely, thank you. Let me leave it like that, okay? Thank you. Thank you for getting us in order. Thank you for checking us. Thank you for being real and transparent. Thank you. Listen, y'all, this is my business coach. Look, so you already know. Like,
yes. Hey, make sure when you're in Chicago, you guys go by and see Daniella's Family Restaurant. Make sure you go by and see Daniella's Family Restaurant. I went when I was visiting, and it was fantastic. And also make sure that you check out her conference, the Help Conference, which is happening in April. Make sure you go and check that out. She's going to edit this video and post a link to it. So if you're in that area, or you can get there, make sure that you do, and bring someone with you. Like, don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Y'all looking around at all these people, you do know it's because we spending money. That's why we where we at. That's just the period. That's the period, point blank of it all. We're where we are because we continue to invest. We have access to who we have access to because we continue to invest. People that spend money like to be around other people that spend money. That's how it works. So
say that again one more time.
People that spend money like to be around people that spend money. And broke people like to be around broke people. People like to be around their comfort level. That's how life is. That's just how it works.
That was good.
So
there.
We got to up level our mentality.
Up level. Come on, shift. It's time.
Yeah. So thank you, Daniella, for having me. I'm going to go in and be a grandma now.
Oh, hi, Ava. She's so good. You should have brought her on the show. Come on. Bring us some laughs. She's so beautiful. Aprille, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I thank you for just fitting me in your schedule. I appreciate it. You know, she's just become not just a coach for me. We don't talk all the time. I know she's accessible. And that's one thing I love about you. Now let me brag. You got a minute, okay? Give me a minute to brag a little bit, okay? Thank you. One thing I love about her is, you know, I ain't gonna lie, because at first I was really pissed off at Aprille, okay? Like mad as hell at her, okay?
Most people are.
Yeah. And but one thing I can say, and especially these last few months, like I've been able to just get in contact with her answer back when I needed something, when I'm going through my mojo moments, when I'm having my breakdowns. And, you know, she'll pity pat you for a second. And I'm talking a literal second. And she like, you okay now? Get up. Now what's your next move? I know what your problem is. Now let's find a solution. And so one thing I love about coaching with you is you just make me look at me. You don't beat around the bush. It's like, no, this is why you're not getting what you need to get because of this. And so she has a solution for the problem, and not, you know, pouring, you know, just making you see your problems. And then it's real life tools and principles. That's how this conference came about. I'm tired of the hoopla with these conferences. I'm just being straight up real. That's where help came from, because when I went to Epic, and it was, I mean, Spark and Hustle was where I met, is where I seen you. I was following you a few months prior. And when I went there, it was real life tools and principles that I could apply. I'm so sick of going to conferences and these people motivate you and they fluffing you. No, it was things that you can apply to your business to become profitable. Period. That's it. And so thank you so much. I appreciate you. Epic is around the corner. Yep.
We don't want to talk about Epic. I told you that. We just talking about help.
Okay, we're talking about help. Okay. Well, help is going to be off the chart. Okay. It's about to sell out. So y'all better get some tickets. So thank you so much, Aprille. I appreciate it. I just appreciate you.
You're welcome. And thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you share the broadcast if you haven't already. Don't be stingy. That's the offering plate. If you want to pass the offering plate, hit the share button on this video. Have an amazing night, you guys. Oh, when is help?
All right. Thank you, Aprille. Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You already know Daniella Coffey. I am a spiritual strategist, your powerhouse speaker, and leadership success coach. Listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Yep, I help you get your mind right. Go from a caterpillar's mentality to a butterfly's mindset. I know that this broadcast has shifted your mind. Come on, this was real talk. That was ministry and money. Come on, you need money for ministry. Period, point blank. It's no doubt about it. Be unapologetically who God has created you to be. Don't apologize for your prices. And guess what? You ain't got to explain it. You put what you know that you're worth, and put a period behind it, not a comma. So I love you guys so very much. Share this video, because this video has been a blessing to me. And we know that to other entrepreneurs, get your tickets for the Help Conference. It's more of that will be at that conference. Tools, strategies, real life things that you can use to become a profitable business. All right, guys, we'll see you later. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great night.